All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today?
Hey, good morning, buddy. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing good, doing good. Norm, I know you are not a gambler. I know you are a trader. But if you had to bet on Snap keeping this pop that it has today, would you
No,
do it?
we were just chatting about that. No, no, I just,
You don't
uh,
believe it.
no, it would be unimaginable to me that they don't pull back most of this, but I will watch and see. I was actually, if I wasn't taking my son to school, I would have been in this short above 35 already.
Yes, I agree 100% with you guys. So Snap is the talk of the day today for sure. It is up nicely, almost 21%, 3.6 million shares traded already. So we'll get into that in a second. But first, let's look at what we had yesterday on our list. I had a very short list, and a lot of our moderators did as well. I had Logitech in here. Excuse me to get this phone out of the way. So I had Logitech yesterday, which didn't really trade all that well. The price action was a little bit suspect, and you can tell here by the 5 minute how horrible this stock traded. It was just not clean at all. So pre-market looked like it had some potential. It had a nice pop up that possibly could have dropped here, but just didn't do well at all. And for the background effects that I have going on today, for those that don't know, big construction happening over on my street. So I think they're done by this week, hopefully. So just bear with us of all the beeping, scratching, and all the stuff that's going on out there. CRCS was another one that I had on my list. Also, again, a recent IPO does have a beautiful daily, but still, yesterday did not really trade well. Let's bring in the 5 minute chart here. You can see it's just very choppy as well. So didn't really pay more attention. So those are already two out of the ones I had on there. I think five or four. Here's IBM. Um, this one had a nice drop here. And again, it's not an easy stock to trade. It did drop nicely into the market open. But if you start looking at some of the 1 minute action here, you could tell it was not an easy type of stock to trade. You have to really be very patient in here. You have to hold through some of the pullbacks and some really dead periods to really take advantage of this move. So again, one of those stocks that does not trade very well. You had only really one play here, which was this 5 minute drop here, and this one. I believe our trade of the day hits the IBM trade. So we'll look at how they traded that, how they took advantage of that drop. But aside from that, didn't do much. And the other one I had was Neo, and Neo was probably the cleanest thing that we had on our list yesterday. Had a beautiful pop here, does give you this pullback slightly on there, but a beautiful continuation towards the top there. So did trade very well yesterday for Neo. So a beautiful drop there as well below the VWAP. So several ways to take that trade. Neo continues to be very nice to us. Even later in the after the mid morning and in the afternoon, look at this beautiful recovery. Great support at 27, 20, and then just an amazing continuation there. It's just very nice. And then let's take a look at DKNG. This one we had on our list as well, but again, just a horrible start to the market open. Really did not have anything going, just very choppy. Does settle down after 10:30, gives you a nice little pattern forming here and a beautiful breakout above the moving averages. So again, not a whole lot going on yesterday. It was a very tough day. You have to be very patient to be able to take advantage of some of these moves. And hopefully you were able to do that and not get chopped around a little bit. If you did, let's hope today is a better day than what we had yesterday. With that said, already in our gappers list, we do have quite a bit on here in the green. So a lot gapping up this morning, especially with Snap leading the way at 20%. And we have some other ones here, Pins, NKLA, Twitter, PayPal, some pretty good names in this morning's gappers list that we're going to take a look at and see how they are looking this morning. On the downside, we do have some other ones here, 23%. Netflix is down nicely. Work and SRNE has been taking a pretty hit here. If you look at the daily on this one, it's been taking a pretty nice drop over the last couple of days. But with that said, guys, let's go to the market pulse. So we'll come back and fine tune. We'll look at our gappers. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah, man, we're essentially flat, up 0.1% on the SPY and the Qs. Not a whole lot going on this morning. We've had some earnings. Obviously, that's causing what's a chunk of what's going on the gappers list. The sectors overall are pretty much flat. The communications is up the most. Financials up a little bit. Consumer discretionary up a little bit. Staples energy down. So kind of the defensive plays a little bit off the table. Not a whole lot going on today as far as data. We've got a few Fed speakers sprinkled throughout the day. And then beige book at 2 o'clock this afternoon. I will say that I think the main driver of today is whatever news comes out about stimulus. It was moving the market yesterday. That's kind of what people are waiting to see what happens there. And yeah.
All right, sounds good. We'll definitely keep an eye on what goes on with that and how that moves things. Let's make some room here, guys. Let's look at what's gapping up today in our list here. We'll add some columns as we move forward, and let's look at Snap. So Snap, as we mentioned earlier, this one is up over 20% right now. Was up even higher. It has dropped a couple of dollar points here, as you can see. So right now we do have a really active pre-market activity. I mean, this is a lot of volume for Snap. And Snap, for the most part, they trade a lot of volume overall, even on the days that they're not active. But today they definitely have a lot more volume than they usually do in the pre-market. So definitely in play. Norm, what is the news causing this pop up? I know yesterday you could see that the candle here taking off.
Yeah, they had earnings last night, and they've had record user growth. They were profitable, which people kind of were shocked by. They beat their earnings estimates and everything. And they've gotten a slew of upgrades this morning. I think it's every investment banker alive has upgraded their price target or their rating this morning. So that's what they're getting. Like you said, it has just such a disappointment of a stock. Really,
Hmm.
if one were to hold this, you're essentially back to where you were 3 years ago, maybe a little bit above that. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's hard to believe that this thing would be. I mean, just from trading it. I mean, you've traded it. I've traded it over the years.
Hmm.
Uh, it's just hard to believe that this would hang on to this. But who knows? Maybe it snaps time to shine.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see for sure. So definitely on our list, guys.
It's. I
Yeah,
mean, it's fueled by teenagers locked in their house, unable to go to school. So,
that's a
well,
great, that's a great point. That's a really good point, guys. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here with this one. Next, we have Carvey. Now, this is a 480,000 flow stock. So I don't really like the way that looks here, neither on the daily. Does not look great. Very choppy. We had some madness to this going back in June. If you guys remember this craziness here, I don't see anything exciting right now. Pre-market does not look all that bad, but it's not great for this type of flow. So I'm gonna skip on this one. We have had a couple of pops here from breaking out of 740 into the $8, $9 here a couple of days ago. But for the most part, it's not one that I'm gonna have here. If you do like this type of stock, just be very careful with this one. It is up 60%. This thing could be very, very wild. PNM, this one looks not great. Couple of block trades here creating this volume 50,000, 50,000 here, giving you a little bit over 100,000 there. So not a great pre-market action, not anything we want to watch this morning. Let's look at NKLA. This one here, decent pre-market action. It looks pretty good at the moment. So you got a nice little pop here. It's trying to hold some of the moving averages at the moment. Their daily found support at 20. And the last 3 days it's been able to bounce off of that a little bit here. So got some good volume. We could definitely add this one on here. Just remember, this stock can trade very wild. Actually, we had it on our list. Was it? I think it was the day before. I don't recall the exact date, but the price actually was crazy. This thing can move really aggressive. 50 cents like it was nothing. So just be very, very
uh,
careful on this one. The pullbacks, even if you have a good move and you find a good pattern, the pullbacks alone might whip you out of the trade. So if you're doing good risk management, so be careful there. CRSR, excuse me. This one I had on my list yesterday, but again, it just traded horrible, and it had very similar pre-market action now. So I have no hopes on this one that's going to trade well today neither. I'm going to keep it off my list. Just look at the start of this, how wild this was. Didn't look great at all. The pre-market is slightly better than yesterday, not as not too far off, but I just have no hope that this is going to trade well. Maybe it's a possible because it is breaking their all-time high this morning, CSRS, but no CR, excuse me, CRSR, and we'll come back to it, but probably not going to stay there. Here's pins. Pins is we are up 9.1 this morning. Nice breakout on the daily here above 46. Norm, earnings last night, I am assuming on this.
I haven't even looked at pins this morning, but they got a couple of upgrades. The biggest one's out of Goldman this morning.
Okay, excellent. So they're up nice today. This is not the easiest trading stock, though, guys. We traded the stock before plenty of times. It doesn't trade all that well. Today they have a nice pop. They got some good volume, so that could be the start of a different type of day today for them. They are sitting on the New York Stock Exchange, which tends to trade a little bit different than what we're used to with some of the stocks that sit on the Nasdaq. But for the most part, we'll watch it for now. Let's see how that continues to develop. I do like the pop they're getting and the way the daily looks at the moment. SBSW, we've seen this one before. Again, this is not a great daily. Does not trade very well. Very, very, very light on volume under daily for the most part. You're not getting a whole lot there. And this morning, pre-market is not looking great. You have a nice pop here, 8.7, leaving some areas of resistance right around here, around 1275. But for the most part, it's not a great trading stock. Here's Twitter. So Twitter is also up a nice 6.1 this morning. Do they have their own news, or it looks like they had a nice pop
Sympathy
yesterday?
move, I'm
Sympathy
thinking. Yeah,
move. All
yeah.
right, that makes sense here. So Twitter's up 6%, guys. At the moment, okay, pre-market action. I don't think it's a pop. It's a on the main list yet. I think a good possible. Twitter can get some really good volume. It can get going nicely, but it's also another stock that can be very choppy if it does not have a direction. You'll get the volume, and you might not get the direction, and that can be a little bit frustrating if you're trying to catch a move here. So we'll keep it on here. Let's see if this thing is going to do anything good for us today. We'll come back to it. Here's Facebook, also a nice pop today, 4.8. They have some pretty good volume. I like Facebook's daily as well. We got this great area of support here on 270. We're slightly above this area of resistance for these 3 days that we couldn't break out of in the past. So that's interesting. I do like this one. I'm going to add Facebook. I like it better than Twitter. I'm assuming this is also some kind of sympathy play, or do they have anything going on separate?
Facebook. Yeah, I think it's sympathy as well. Really, man. Just
Yeah, that
I'm
over
not
social
seeing anything
media. Yeah,
great.
gotcha, man.
They got an upgrade, I believe, yesterday out of an investment bank, but I
Mhm.
don't see anything this morning.
Gotcha. Here's PayPal. PayPal definitely getting a nice pop here, 3.7, 191,000 at the moment. PayPal is another stock that I wish it would trade better. I wish it would, but it does not. It doesn't trade that clean. Today they have some more volume than they're used to having here. I like the way their daily set up here above this 208. You got a possible continuation happening here. Their spread is not great. So be mindful of that. At the moment, not looking too good. That's going to get better, but just be on the lookout for that. Make sure you're not getting into something that has a 80, a dollar spread on there. At the moment, pre-market's okay, not great. We can add it here. I don't see it staying here for long. I think we'll find other stuff that might look better. CSIQ not looking all that good right now. Up 2.2. What's the float on this? 45. Had a big day yesterday. How did it trade yesterday? Let's take a look. So I had a nice trending day here, but my concern here is just the volume, right? The entire day on this move, we only traded 8 million shares. So that just tells me that the action itself, the intraday price action here was not great when you're trading on only that much volume, right? You're not going to have that great liquidity if that was the volume for the entire day. So that's a little bit concerning there, and that's for the most part, it's one of their biggest trading days. You might not get that today, that type of continuation. So I'm on the fence, put it as a possible, but not looking all that great right now. Here's GM, and as you guys know, GM barely moves, doesn't trade very well. Is one of these massive stocks that just doesn't move well, doesn't move good at all for intraday play. So I'm not going to keep it on my list. I had a couple of big days yesterday, including one of those nice trending days here. Right off the open, you see a nice little pop here with some decent volume as well, almost triple what they're used to trading. So that could be interesting. Possible continuation play, but I just know the stock doesn't trade all that well, so I'm going to keep it off for now. Let's see what's gapping down. GSX, this one at the moment, nice drop, down 23%. The daily is okay, not great, sitting at 82 million shares float. Yeah, this is okay. This is okay. I'm not sure what the news is on this one, but
They got a
let's keep it on
downgrade
here.
this morning.
Downgrade. Yeah, this could be good. It's got a great pre-market action. It's down quite a bit, over 20% already. So you got to be careful. It could be a little bit extended already into the pre-market. We're also hitting some areas of support. I think it's worth taking a closer look at. CRSP, this one this morning, you got a nice drop here, 13.3. The daily's really all over the place. And then coming down here looking at how much they're trading on a regular basis, it's not a lot. 1.4 seems to be even less than that, around 735. So I don't like that there. And also, what? Look at the prices here, guys. Don't get fooled. This candle here is 99, and the bottom of this candle, the low of this candle, is 92. No, we're not watching this. This is just too risky. It is not worth it unless you're gonna be trading 5 shares. It is just not worth it because imagine if even if you have your hard stop, mental stops, whatever the case may be, if this thing drops on you and you have a decent size, you can really hurt your account. So that's not worth it. Let's look at work. What do we have here? We're down 5.4, 125. Pre-market action, okay. I know the stock can trade well, so I think it's worth watching. Got a nice drop here. Hopefully the pre-market action can get a little bit better. Had a big red day yesterday and nice drop continuation today. If we have any news on work, these guys should be doing well. It shouldn't be dropping like this, but that's good for us.
I have just work popped up before I pulled everything, or after they got a
Mhm.
downgrade this morning out of Morgan Stanley with the $27 dollar price target.
All right, so I definitely on our list today, guys. I like this drop here, and let's hope the pre-market gets better. But we know they can get the volume and trade well. Let's do a few more of these. Netflix, it is down 4.7, big drop after hours for Netflix yesterday. Again, it's just a huge drop here this morning. So if you, I don't like trading Netflix. I think it's difficult to read the price action. If you like the stock, by all means, put it on your list. It is in play today. It's down nicely, 4.8. 311,000 shares traded. You're not going to get a beautiful, amazing pre-market action out of Netflix. It usually does not do that. But today you definitely got some action going on worth having on your list. Here is run. I don't like the pre-market action, down 4.3. I like the daily. I like the fact that we lost this 62 50 here. But the pre-market right now is not looking all that great. So I'm going to skip on it for now. SRNE, this one has been taking a nice hit over the last couple of days. It's getting back down to some of these levels it was at before where it found some support. This morning, this can trade well. I know the pre-market action looks crappy. It is a bit extended on the daily, so it could be due for a pullback here. We'll see. As a possible for now would be a good one for SRNE. We'll fine tune that a little bit later. Norm, what do you like this morning so far? I know Snap is on your list for sure.
Snap. I don't know what else. I'm still looking, bud.
Okay, you got it, man. Let's go to our chat and see what do we have here, guys. Let's take a look. Let's start with Sam. Sam, you have WGO. All right, WGO. What do we have here? Daily looks interesting. Possible breakout, continuation breakout out of 57 on the daily. But the pre-market is just not great right now. Very low on the
It's just
volume.
not a great day trading stock.
Yeah,
I've
I never
traded it
even
a few
traded this one.
times. I've traded it a few times, and
Yeah,
it tends to not be great for day trade. But maybe
yeah.
today's its day.
Yeah, and now that you mentioned that, look down at the volume because this is important, guys. Volume for us, the way we trade, is critical. And if you have a stock the entire day, they're trading only 1.6, it's you could just imagine what that price action is going to look like. So it's just not great. Let's head down over to Matt. So he's watching WEI. Let's take a look here. WEI. What do we have? So is this a low float? Looks like it. WEI. What do we have going on? Oh, no, it's not 33.6 million. So not bad. Pre-market action down 22%. I don't really like what I'm seeing in the pre-market action right now, guys. Had a good day yesterday. But look at this action though. Yeah. No, I'm gonna skip on this one. We'll skip on that one. I think Matt was just saying has a super interesting story last night. But yeah, for intraday today, I'm not sure about that one. PayPal is on our list. CRSR is on our possibles list. So if you see it on here, we have it there. We'll look at it closely again, see if we can find something good out of that. Yeah, NKLA I looked at. This is looking very interesting now. This kind of trying to get back towards the pre-market highs here at 25.30, 25.50. Sorry, 23.50, excuse me. So that looks interesting. That could be a good one. JKS, I don't like JKS, but I know a lot of traders do. So let's take a look at it. It just continues to rip higher here. When is this thing going to have an actual pullback? It's just, I mean, when is that
It's
coming?
a good question.
We
I
need
don't know the
some.
answer to that,
We
man.
got to get an analyst on the phone here and bring them in on to break this down for us because I just don't understand it. But again, just I know I don't like the stock, but man, look at the trading yesterday. It just continues to just rip higher. Everybody's just buying the dip here. Pre-market action looks very active. I have no choice but to add this to our possibles list. I mean, it's just insane. 560. They went red this morning. They're back in the green. And probably going to continue to break all-time highs here. Um, let's look at LK. Wow, LK. What's going on? No, LK is not in play. LK was lucky.
Okay.
Lucky coffee, whatever that thing was. Yeah, this is not.
Luckin Coffee.
Yeah, this is not working. They're not in business. At least not in the markets. WKHS Workhorse. Yeah, Workhorse is interesting. Yesterday, they had a nice drop. I did not have it on my list, but it was mentioned in the chat room. So nice drop yesterday. Possible continuation today, guys. I mean, we keep losing these levels of support on WKHS, right? We lost a big one here at 23. We had another one at 22. Now we're sitting at the one here at 2037. Great area of resistance now. Support. We'll see. I do like what I'm seeing here. Volume is starting to pick up. The pre-market is not looking great. Worth keeping as a top possible for now. We could end up moving this up before that 9:30 time frame. Um, yes, I agree. That was not a lucky coffee at all. Absolutely. Snap is on our list. What else we have? All right, good. Let's take a look at what we have over on YouTube. Netflix is on here. Yeah, I have Netflix as a possible. I think it's a really tough stock to trade, although the pre-market today looking really, really nice this morning. Let's take a look. JKS, I have it on here. Very, very extended. I mean, but I don't think that means anything. So I agree with you there. Just look at this daily. It's just incredible. SQ, let's take a look. SQ looks really, really good. Let's get the 5 minute on SQ as well. Here it is. Yeah, SQ looks good on the daily. I do like what I'm seeing here. We do have some volume starting to come in now. We're down only 1.7, but this daily is interesting. If we're losing this area of support here, are we going to run towards the bottom if we can get going? It looks like we have a more active pre-market activity than we usually do. So I like SQ. We have a lot today, but that's okay. A lot of stuff here we're going to remove and get out the way. So SQ is great. I do like that one. NKLA we do have, so that's good. What else we have here? So yeah, SPAQ. This stock, guys, doesn't trade very well. It is a shell company. We mentioned that before in the past. Has had a nice drop over the last couple of days. So just be careful with this one. I'm not going to have it on my list because I believe there's some other ones on here. Snap, NKLA, even NKLA, which you got to be careful with. That stock looks really good. Pins looks great today pre-market, and then we have some really good potential in here for stocks that can trade decent today. What else do we have? Let's take a look at ASTC. All right, ASTC. What do we have here? In very active pre-market action, 12 million shares. ASTC. We're looking at a 5 million shares flow. So this could be a good low flow for the day. If you're into low flow stocks, this one looks very active. I don't like the way the pre-market is. Remember, we like that pre-market action where you kind of have like ABCD patterns after ABCD patterns when it comes to low flow stocks. That has not been forming here yet. You just kind of have this drop happening below the VWAP. So be careful there. You do not have shares for sure. We've been as high as 650 on this one. We're just kind of dropping now. So be cautious in trying to buy this dip. Make sure you see a very solid pattern before you just start taking this trade long to get into the action. Last one, IRBT. Do we have anything good here? I don't like no
Trades
pre-market
very low
action.
volume typically.
Yeah.
They had good earnings,
Hmm.
but it doesn't trade very good volume during the day.
Yeah, and I know you have traded this one before because I think you have mentioned it in the past.
I have not. I just no. I've mentioned it on a different note because it was the focus of a short sell research thing, kind of like
Oh, okay.
Citron,
Yeah.
Spruce Point. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I do remember you talking about this one. So yeah, so we'll skip on that one, guys. Does not look great at all. So let's go to our community announcements. We got some great stuff happening tonight and next week as well. So we'll come back and fine tune this list.
All right, guys. Tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, we've got Dr. Kenneth Reed about talking about specifically about older traders, traders over 50, the changes that take place in one's brain, chemical changes, and everything else. Supplements you can use to remain sharp and quick and trade well. Hope you trade well. Next week, we've got Jared talking about his Pearson fail pattern. It's a reversal pattern where stock makes a new high or new low, for instance, or breaches a moving average quickly, bounces back off that, so it pierces it, fails, and then that's kind of a reversal signal. He'll be talking about how he trades that pattern. Mike, his webinar was last night. It should be up soon. That was Module 4, Mindfulness During Trading. And then next week, we'll have NADA at 8 p.m. on Tuesday. Our mindfulness expert, title of it's Don't Believe Everything You Think. It's trying to pick the good thoughts, for instance, out of your mind and leave the bad ones behind. Member trade of the day, guys. Take a screenshot of your best trade of the day. Mark it up, entries, exits, strategy, ideas, why you did what, when you did, and throw it on Twitter. Tag at Bearable Traders, at Mike B underscore BBT, and at Norm BBT. Also use hashtags BBT Family, Day Trading, and Stock Market. We will announce the winner for each day in the closing bell show, and then the trade of the week on Mondays. That person will win a $100 Amazon gift card for the trade of the week. If you're watching us on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, use the promo code PREMARKET24 to get a discount off the intro membership. That's 7 calendar days, 5 trading days, unless there's a market holiday. Also includes access to Carlos's onboarding class each and every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. It doesn't auto-renew or turn into any other kind of discount. Also, if you're looking to upgrade your membership or become a lifetime member, use the promo code Halloween35. That'll get you 35% off the lifetime membership.
All right, thank you, Norm. Guys, let's get into our member trade of the week for last week. This goes to the Real Prince Trader. That is his name here, username. So congratulations on this amazing trade last week. And then for the trade of the day for yesterday, we do have, hopefully I'm pronouncing this right, Hui. They, or I'm not sure if it's a guy or girl, but they traded IBM yesterday. And this is what I'm talking about. See, they were able to take advantage and be patient here because it was not easy. As you can see here, they got in, took some out. They added some more for the next drop there and took advantage of that move. But if you look at the candles in between there, you had to be really patient to get to take advantage of the move that happened there. So great job there, man. Well done. All right, let's look at our list this morning. We have quite a bit here. Let's scan through it, both main list and possible, and see what looks good. So Snap is on our list, bouncing back here this morning above the VWAP, so this will stay on there. Amazing volume. NKLA has good volume, 1.9, up 8.1. Pins is looking good as well, guys. You're not gonna get a crazy pre-market action, but I love the volume right now. We're up nicely. I like the breakout. Let's see if we're gonna get a continuation or some kind of pullback that will give us a good short play at the open. Here's Facebook. Facebook is looking good too, actually. I like Facebook a lot with the way their daily is set up right now, breaking out of here. I like the volume, so I think this is trading well, the pre-market. PayPal is active as well. I would love for PayPal to hold here and give us an opportunity towards the upside. I don't want it coming back in here into all this resistance and stuff like that. So hopefully that's the play for PayPal today if it gives us an opportunity. GSK. I like GSK's drop here. We got a very nice drop, down 23%. So I do like that one too. Work. I like the drop. Pre-market's a little bit stale right now. I don't see anything crazy happening. How many we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think work has to come down. I think it's a great possible. I think it has potential. I think that the drop here on work is great too. And the daily looks amazing. So I want to keep that on there. So let's look at our possibles now. We have SQ. SQ is great too, man. Workhorse is decent. JKS. I'm gonna remove JKS. I mean, I love this daily. It's just can't stop looking at it and talking about it. But it's just I think it's gonna be it's a difficult stock to trade. The spread is at 20 cents now. 40 cents at the moment, almost 50 right there. So just be careful with this one. That could get better as the market opens, but just be careful with that one. I think Twitter, it's decent, not great. It can definitely stay on here. CRSR taking off here. You know what? I'm gonna remove it just because how bad it traded yet on the market open yesterday, right? Now today's pre-market action looking a lot better than what it did yesterday. Maybe we'll keep a close eye on it. But again, I just have way too many. Let's see if we can keep this one. CSIG. Let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of that one because I think SR might be a better one. Netflix is good. I know somebody else is going to watch Netflix, so I'm going to remove it from here just to have my list a little bit smaller. SRNE is, it's decent, but not great. Let's get rid of it. Now we have a more manageable secondary list here with a lot of them being really good, like Twitter. Workhorse is actually probably one that I got to move up. I just moved it down, but man, that looks good. All right, let's look at Snap. Let's do some levels here. We have Snap this morning, high of the pre-market sitting all the way at 35.60. Nice big pop today. They're up 23% and kind of giving a beautiful bounce here. Low of the pre-market at the moment sitting at 34.16. So let's throw a level there. And then in between here, guys, I do want to mark down this specific level on off the 5 minute because it's very clear. There's a lot of action happening at 34.86. Look how many times we had support. Even yesterday, we had a lot of action after hours in there. Early this morning, you had a lot of action going on there. And even a couple of minutes ago, you can see some of the support resistance happening around that area, 34.90 or so. So I'm going to keep that on there. I think that could play an important part today as we move forward here, depending on what Snap wants to do. Now we have not been up here. This is the 52-week high. We haven't been up here in a very, very, very long time. I'm going to look at a weekly to just get some levels around our price action. I'm not going to go back on the daily. Actually, this is all-time high. Thought we were up here before. Yeah, this is all-time high, guys. So yeah, we have no levels up here besides this one. So very, very interesting on Snap right there. So that's all you really have, guys. Towards the bottom, you can go into here and look at some more levels. Maybe this 32.97. This is an after hours level. I would not put too much weight on that, so be mindful of that. The daily levels are obviously much, much stronger. And then you don't have really much all the way down to 29. So that's what we'll keep for Snap. NKLA this morning, what do we have here? At the moment, they are consolidating right above the highs and lows from the last two trading days. So just kind of right above that at the moment. High of the pre-market over at 23.54. So we'll mark that there. We can see how great that level has been as far as support, right? Going back a couple of days, you can see how much support that thing has there. Above that, you got a great level here. You do have one in between here as well. This will be, what are we looking at here? 24.53. 24.53, couple of days opening, closing around that area as well. So that's good there. And then towards the bottom, I mean, you really have a lot of rates towards the bottom. You can mark down 18, but you do have your highs and lows here and the previous day close as well, creating a lot of support for NKLA this morning. Here's pins. So pins right now continue to rips higher. I know we might break the pre-market high, but this level here, 49.43, worth adding. You can see the struggle we're having getting above this right now. The few times we have poked our head above that has been shot right back down. So we'll see if we can get going here. We got some good higher lows happening here at this moving average. Let's see if we could break from there. Low of the pre-market at 47.31, and then below that, highs and lows from the last two trading days. You got a couple of good levels in here too. If you look at your 5 minute, we had another wind up here as well at 49. You can see the resistance happening, right? You had the higher lows coming in against this point here and the nice breakout. You're doing the same thing here again. Do we have the juice to break higher? Pins, are we at all-time high with pins? I'm not sure. Let's check our weekly here. I believe we might be as well. Again, all these apps with people being home. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it looks like all-time highs as well for pins. So pretty interesting. We have nothing else left up there. Facebook. So Facebook right now, I love the daily on Facebook. We did break out of this 270. I'm still going to keep that there because that's a great area. You have a lot of resistance here that we broke out of, and not only on this group of 3 days here, you also have it here as well. So keep that level there. That could be important today. High of the pre-market, slightly above that, over at a 281.59. So let's throw a level there. And if we do decide to get going, we got some pretty good levels here over at more down 288.92 and all the way at 292.74. Great area of support that can now become resistance if we get the juice to get going. Up there, low of the pre-market sitting at 272.55. And then right in between here, we do have 274, might be 275. But you got some days opening, closing, some of the wicks bouncing off of that 275 there. In here, opening right around that area. Again, this level is more of an area, not exact to the penny. So I'm going to throw that on there just in case this thing does drop. We have something to that we can play off there. And then below that, highs and lows from the last two trading days. Now here's PayPal. What are they up to? Let's see what we did here. So we're getting a nice rejection of 211.50. I'm going to mark that down. High of your pre-market. Above that, wow, that's exactly where we had our last area of resistance, and we had this beautiful drop here. So let's see, a lot of resistance right there, getting a nice drop. Hopefully, we can come back up and break out of that. Those high of pre-market breakouts are really amazing. So hopefully, we can get that here. If not, we do have some levels towards the bottom, guys. Highs and lows from the last two trading days already. So you're pretty much covered down there. You do not need to add anymore for PayPal. Here's GSX. Again, nice drop on GSX today. Low of the pre-market 71. We are down 23% on this one. Trying to bounce back a bit here. As far as levels, high of the pre-market, you're covered up here. That's the low from the last two trading days. Below that off this daily, this is a very clean level. 90.25. You can see the support happening here. You have great resistance in the past right off this level as well. Look at these, 7 days, couldn't get above that. Nice rejection towards the bottom. Where the price action is right now, you have some good stuff happening here too, right around 80, 60. You got some great support that became resistance, and now we're seeing the resistance here in the 5 minute trying to get above this 80, 60. So that's a good level to have as well, to keep on there. If you decide to go back down towards that 71.31, which is your low of your pre-market, which has seen a support in the past, right over here back in September 8th, and over here in July 16, you have some support around that area. If we were to lose that, hopefully we can go for a nice run. 64.52 could be the next area where you find some good support if this thing does drop back down. So pretty good stuff there in GXS. I do like the drop. I like the volume right now. I like the pre-market. Pre-market is trading very well also. As far as possibles, we do have work, which still not doing much, but I like this drop, has potential. SQ looks great, guys. I'm going to do levels for SQ. I think it's worth having that ready to go. Low of the pre-market, 181.03. Below that, you do have this other, right in here, you have a level of this daily, 179.09. And then all the way down here, obviously a good one around 172.90 towards the top, highs and lows from the last two trading days. But I do like SQ's pre-market activity. You usually do not get such a clean pre-market action from SQ, especially sitting on the New York Stock Exchange. But it looks really good today. I might move that one up if I can take something else off the top list. Workhorse is another one that looks very good. I'm gonna do levels for this one too, in case you're watching it. Low of the pre-market right now, sitting right at almost 20. 2007. So let's mark that down. If it loses that, another amazing level, guys, down here. Very clear, very clean. A lot of touches at 1888. Just look how many wicks you're getting off of that. How many days are, getting a nice rejection slightly above that towards the bottom there. So that's good in case we do drop here. And then towards the top, highs and lows from the last two trading days. Pretty much got your cover. You got the previous day close on there as well. You can put the high of the pre-market, which is this one here. I'm not sure that's going to play any part 2091. Just throw that on there. It'll be a good level to have just in case. And then we have Twitter as a possible. CRSR continues to rip higher here. Not sure if there's going to be a nice continuation on this one, so we'll keep a close eye on it. All right, guys, let's see what our moderators have this morning. Let's look at our list. All right, just two so far. We have Peter. He's watching Snap, Netflix, and NKLA. As a secondary, he has AMD, Verizon, I believe is a VC, or could be something else. ABT and IRBT as his secondary. Tiffany has Snap, NKLA. What is that one there? Facebook and Pins. So that's all we have right now, guys. And all the rest of the moderators who put their list together. Some IPOs opening up today that Peter has thrown out here in the chat. So he has MSSP. KINZU, right? And we got, these are a bunch of, I guess, SP SPACs, I believe that's what he's trying to say there. So again, he'll announce it once they go live in the chat room, so you get an announcement there. And then he's, what else he has? And then some other ones, SRSAU. Wow, these stickers cannot be any longer. LFTRU, YGMZ, and also SPNVU. Excellent. So some IPOs, if you're looking to play that. Seem you guys take some really good trades of IPOs lately. So a nice job there, taking advantage of that. Some more coming in. We have Brian just posted his. He has Snap, NKLA, Pins, Neo, and GLBS, and also ASTC for fun. And that is a low flow that is extremely active this morning. This thing is already trading 17 million shares, so very active as of right now. Just be careful with this one. Obviously, be very mindful of your share and risk management. And again, if you're you know what your problems are in trading, you know what they are. If you're having any type of problem sticking to your stops or being disciplined in that area, these are the type of stocks you do not want to have on your watch list until you build that skill up, right? So stay away from these, because when you have those kind of issues, they will make you pay the price big time. So very important to know that. All right, folks, that is what we have. The rest of the moderators will continue to put their watch list together and post it on here. Today we have success webinar at 8 p.m. in our success webinar room. So make sure to join us there. We'll be happy to see you tonight as we continue to get prepared here for our market open. Brian and Andrew are next. See you guys tomorrow. Happy Thursday and trade safe, guys.